Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. In terms of boxing and videos, this one I haven't done these sort of videos for a while. I usually do videos when I do boxing about upcoming fights and fighters, but I haven't done a prediction of a boxer's career for a while. So I thought I'd go back, blast from the past, and do this video. So before I start this video, I want to make something very clear. A, this is not hating. And B, I understand how difficult it is or hard it is to get in the ring, to train for 8-10 weeks, get in the ring and fight. I've done it. I've done it numerous occasions. I know what it feels like. It's not easy. And the criticism that I may throw or I may put out is not to be destructive, but more to be, in my eyes, what I'm seeing in boxing or what I'm seeing at the moment. Okay. Let us start with the current world champion, Sonny Edwards, who's just made his transfer over to Matchroom and has had a successful defense of his title over at Matchroom. Again, I'm going to keep this very real with you and keep it in context. Sonny Edwards, according to Matchroom, is pound for pound the best British fighter. Well, that's not true. Not by a long shot. He's not the best British fighter, pound for pound at the moment. He's not. But what I will say, because you've got someone like Tyson Fury who's beaten two reigning world champions, long reigning world champions. I think Deontay Wilder had 9 defenses of the WBC title, and Klitschko was about 10 or 11 defenses of his title. So, I mean, he'd beaten 2 champions right there, and he's still unbeaten, and he's still top of the world. So I don't see how he's the British pound for pound number one. Sorry, you've got to put Tyson Fury there. Also, Callum Smith, who won the Super 6 tournament. Edwards has been nowhere near a Super 6 tournament, so you've got to add his name in there as well, Callum Smith. So sorry, I can't really be saying that he's British pound for pound number one, but that's just a gimmick for Matchroom because Sonny Edwards cannot punch. And, in the lower weight divisions, it's hard to sell a fighter unless you're Inoue, who's a fearful puncher, ferocious puncher. You can't really go around, talk around. Yeah, I'm going to come to Johnny Fisher. Let me wait. I'm coming to Johnny Fisher. You can't go around and say he's pound for pound the best British fighter. It's just rubbish. Talented fighter, yes. Now, he's got some nice tricks and he's got some nice moves. Unfortunately, the worst move that Sonny Edwards has made is not inside the ring, it's outside the ring. And that's negotiating to fight with Matchroom. Fight for Matchroom. Why? Because Matchroom are not matchmakers. They're money makers. They don't give a damn about you as a fighter. They want to know how much money you can make for them. And they will stick you in with King Kong tomorrow as long as they can get that money. That's all it is. Understand. They don't matchmake and they don't look after a fighter's career. They look after their own pockets. That's it. If you want promotion, fine. They're good at that. But when you talk about matchmaking, forget them. You see, Sonny Edwards is a fantastic match for Matchroom. Why? Because Sonny Edwards says, I want the big fights. I want the big fights. Eddie says sign the contract. Yeah, well, you know what? That's fine. And it's okay the way you box. It's interesting because you can't punch, but you box like a guy that can punch. Now, what happens like that? Sonny Edwards, I'm telling you now, he's not going to be around long. So appreciate him while you can, because it gets harder as you start going for these unification bouts and again see guys in those lower divisions that come forward, throw non-stop punches and can crack in either hand. If you're looking for the division, that division and them low weight divisions, that's where you're getting them Mexicans. Not guys from Chile, I'm talking about Mexicans, real Mexicans. The ones that throw like 1,000 punches around and walk you down and chop the body and chop the body and chop the body and chop the body. And you hit them in the head and they just keep coming and coming and coming and coming. Wave after wave after wave after wave. That's coming. And you're not a puncher, Mr. Edwards. You're not a puncher. although I like the way you try to sell the fight, the last fight you did, you're all up in the guy's grill. Love all of that. Love that stuff. And I like the way you put yourself out there and sell yourself. That's brilliant. Marketing, fantastic. You have to do that as a lower weight fighter. Brilliant. But here's why you're a match for matchroom. Because that's music to their ears. Oh, so he wants the big fights. Oh, so he wants the money. So money equals car crash matchmaking. So they don't care about you being a world champion. They don't care. The pound for pound thing, British thing, that's just something they put out there just to generate more money, which is smart by them. What they're really going to do, they will put you in there with someone who is pound for pound, a guy that really can crack with both hands and will back you up against the ropes and will work your body until you can't move. And then when you can't move, that's when the man will really go to work on you. I'm telling you now, if you can't punch and you're boxing like a guy that can punch, wait until you're in the ring with a guy that can punch and can walk you down. And you hit him with your best shot and he's still coming. And all those gimmicks you got at the moment, they're nice, they're good to look at for now. But there's that next level. There's that next level which you ain't been at yet. That next level which is tick, tick, bang. Tick, tick, bang is the time bomb. You've not fought with a walking time bomb. When you're fighting guys with walking time bombs, like you make one mistake and boom, your lights are out. So while you're on the ropes, sitting on the ropes there, you fight against one of them guys who are a specialist at backing guys up against the ropes, and you're sitting on the ropes there, or you're doing that clown thing where you put your hands up in the air and you're looking away. You can do that against that level. But when you step up to that elite level, which they're saying that you are, but I ain't so sure. Because when an elite guy who can punch hits you on the chin, your legs will be doing something, a different kind of dance, an involuntary dance. And that, I've seen it over and over again. You're not Prince Naseem Hamed, although there's stuff about you that could be Hamed-like. You just don't punch. You can't punch. And that's a problem. Because when a guy's putting it on you and you got nothing to keep that guy off you, and he's still doing little slick moves, well, them slick moves work 4 or 5 rounds. When that guy starts grinding your body down in round 7, 8, and 9, and he starts really going to work on you, then we'll see how their moves get you out of trouble. That's my concern right there. So once you decide to go down that route, with Matchroom, the only thing you've signed up to do is guaranteed to lose your belt and get knocked out. Guaranteed. It might not be this fight, it might not be the next fight, but it's coming and real soon. So Sonny Edward fans, enjoy him while he lasts, because I'm not sure he's getting around for long. Just based on the car crash type matchmaking that Matchroom has done previously, and they're not going to stop anytime soon. So that's my thoughts on that. But Sonny Edwards, good fighter, nice skill. I hope to be proven wrong. I hope that when you do fight a guy that can really crack and really walk you down and can handle the angles, I hope you can come for a fight like that. I really do, because I'm not so sure. No, but see, it's not a hate Matchroom. Don't go there. Don't go there, because if you don't know my history, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't come on my channel talking rubbish. Right? If you're gonna talk to me on this channel, talk fact. And if you listen to my thing from the start, I said no hate. But if you want to come with that energy, I'll put you straight in your place. Right? So let's not go there. So that's where we're at with that. I'm not here, and my channel is not about blowing smoke up fighters' asses. I'm not about that. I've never been about that. And I've been around over 10 years. I'm not about that. I'll just tell you the truth and be honest. And I think he's got good moves and he's got a lot of style. But Matchroom are about not matchmaking, but they're about money making. Talk facts. Don't be deluded. That's what it is. That's what they do. They've destroyed so many fighters' careers that could have made them more money. But instead, they've gone for their quick cash out. And Anthony Joshua, let's talk about that. Why did he fight Andy Ruiz? He could have fought Trevor Bryan. When Jerome Miller, that fight fell out, they could have fought Trevor Bryan. But that Ruiz fight damaged Joshua. So don't go there and come telling me about I hate Matchroom. I hate poor matchmaking. I hate amateurs. I hate amateurish things in amateurish and unprofessionalism in terms of matchmaking. I don't like it. One of my good friends was Dean Powell. He was a great matchmaker. So don't go there. Please don't go there. Right. So yeah, thank you so much, Deb, Denise. Appreciate that. So that's Sonny Edwards. You know, that's why you see people who can't take constructive criticism and can't see things for what they are. They're the ones that at the end, when the fighters get beaten and knocked out, they're all saying they hate the fighter afterwards. I'm telling you something's going to happen before it happens. I said it about Okoli. I said it about Joshua. I've been saying it about Joshua Boatsy. I said it about Anthony Yard. I said it about Callum Smith. I keep on saying it. I've said it about American fighters too. There are just some things you can't cut corners. Even Josh Taylor, who I think is a better fighter than Sonny Edwards, is proven. But you can't cut corners. If you're tight at the weight and you're going to fight elite fighters, you're going to get found out. That's what happened with Josh Taylor last night. It wasn't about Josh Taylor not being good enough. He wasn't strong enough because he was weight trained. That's my opinion. There you go. So I want to come back to a second fighter now, Johnny Fisher. Big, strong, heavyweight. But to me, where are we actually going? Where are we going with Johnny Fisher? He's a big guy, he's a strong guy. But where are we going with this? He looks like a journeyman, not being funny, he's not being disrespectful, a journeyman in the making. One of these guys who's a bit of a bully boy, likes it on top, but when you hit him back, it all falls apart. And before you know it, today's unbeaten and everyone's jumping up and down about the Romford Bull. Wait until somebody half decent hits him on the chin. Wait. And then you'll be saying Johnny Fisher on the comeback now, and he's going to be used as a gatekeeper or a stepping stone. Mark my words. Mark my words about Johnny Fisher. Wait. You all won't listen to me. So he's the one that won't last long. He won't last long either because first of all, you got to track back to the guy's amateur career. What did he do as an amateur? So, okay. Then let's go into the pro game and let's see. When you look at a guy's progression, tell me where is this guy in terms of where he's going? Is he going to beat Fabio Wardley? Okay. Can he beat Fraser Clark? Okay. Let's kind of move on a bit. It's a good fight. Poor David Adelaide in with Johnny Fisher now. That's a good little fight for them now. Make that fight. Or even Johnny Fisher versus Nathan Gorman. Make them kind of fights at the moment. Right? Because I'm sorry, but he just like big, strong. That's it. Not very skilled. And that's just what I see it as. Don't try and paint it to me like he's going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world. Don't try and paint it to me like he's going to be the next undisputed champion. Like when they were trying to sell to me that David Price was going to be there here to the Klitschko's. Remember when they were trying to sell that story to me? Right? And I told you straight up, David Price, not happening. And what happened? Tony Thompson came unstuck against Tony Thompson. Right? So I've seen it all before. And after a while, your eye gets to see certain things. Toby says, Okoli had off night. He's still world level. Listen, let me tell you about Okoli. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Lawrence Okoli is the second coming of Henry Akinwande. I've said it. Doesn't want to get hit. Doesn't want to get knocked out. Understandable. And it's probably been chinned in sparring, and that's why he fights the way that he does. Go and look at Henry Akinwande's career. Go and look at Lawrence Okoli. I've been saying this, Liam, for time. Anybody who decides to get inside, stick it on him, and it's not going to change. That's the way he is. So you've got to, with a mentality like that, you've got to find a style that the grab and jab is because you're not very good on the inside. Also, grab and jab is used to diffuse a fighter. So when a fighter is trying to get a rhythm, you grab and jab them, you break the rhythm, you take the set in the ring, you get your jab back out, so you control distance. But when a guy's all up in your grill all the time and the referee can't stop all that, and then he couldn't see the left hook that was coming as well. So no, Lawrence Okoli, good fighter. World level, Richard Riakporhe. That's my prediction. Richard Riakporhe is the best cruiserweight in the world. That's my prediction. But we'll see. Richard Riakporhe destroys Lawrence Okoli. That's my guy, the British, at the moment. He will destroy Lawrence Okoli. That's why Okoli wants nothing to do with that fight. Boxing isn't boxing anymore. It's just marketing. I want fighters to make money, but I don't want to invest money in shows just for knockovers. That's the point. Like, so what exactly are you getting from? You're seeing a big guy knock another dude fall over. For what do you get for that? You paid your hard-earned money for that, and then you want to come and tell me, "Oh, this is the next heavyweight champ." Come on, man. Look, I know Tyson had his knockovers, right? But you could see in his start of his career, Mike Tyson, a lot of the heavyweights, a lot of the fighters. Very few fighters have a career like Joe Joyce where they're fighting good fight after good fight after good fighter. But at least when you saw Mike do it, it was exciting. Dave Allen puts him upside down and he's been fighting in Malta. Well, there you go. He needs to improve accuracy. He can't keep distance with a jab well enough. Vlad prefers his style and he had good feet for someone his size. That's it. Two things I noticed about Lawrence Okoli, I think he too might be struggling at the weight. I think Lawrence Okoli needs to move up in weight and fight a bridger weight. He needs to go and fight a bridger weight. He's another one, a guy I think is tight at the weight. He had ambitions of wanting to fight a heavyweight. Well, this is the time to actually forget about the cruiserweight division, move up to a bridgerweight division, become bridgerweight world champion. You've got the size, you've got the punching power, move up to bridgerweight. And that's a good test for you before you actually go on to fight in the heavyweight division. Everyone's saying, "Oh yeah, Okoli's brilliant at heavyweight." Let's see what he does at bridgerweight. That'd be a nice thing for him. Go and fight a bridgerweight. Cruiserweight, you're a tall dude, 6'4", 6'5", move to bridgerweight. And I don't know if Sugar Hill's the right guy for Lawrence Okoli. I think Lawrence Okoli needs a trainer that's defense-minded, or a guy that will work on his defense and tighten his defense up and to build a mechanism around his mindset. Or he spends some serious time unlocking those fears he's got within him. Lawrence Okoli and Anthony Joshua have come at similar sort of mindsets. When it comes to engagement of battle, they've got similar mindsets. Good shout. Fight Razgu, who Cabbage Babbage. There's another guy. I was talking about Alan Babbage. Listen, it sounds like I don't like any fighters. Alan Babbage, if you fight with your face and people say, "Oh, Babbage, yeah, he's ready for," what was it? He's saying he could be heavyweight champion of the world. Are you serious? That's what happens when you fight with your face. You can only fight so long with your face like that. And I think even Eddie Hearn understood this guy. Let me get him out as quick as possible. This guy, Alan Babbage, when he got dropped, when he's getting hurt and he's getting stunned and getting rocked, and he's fighting his face, and he had one way of fighting. The Babbage, savage Babbage. Look what happened to him. Look what happened to him in the end. You can't fight like that at elite level. You cannot fight like with your face like that. I remember the show you did for me on Kell Brook. Johnny Fisher's a gimmick. He sells tickets that That's the only reason why he's not white collar. He never win an area title. How he's still being fed bin men is beyond me. Oh, he might have. It's got Romford connections in it. Good morning, Denise. Hope you're well. Romford connections. That's what I think it is. That Essex connection with Eddie Hearn. That's what it is. Why else would it be? Because it's not because of talent. Clearly not because of talent. So those are my thoughts right there. I'm not digging anybody out here, right? But I'm no longer going to be sold the dream like 2 years, and then when it comes down to the big fight, I end up crying, sitting up on a Saturday night or Sunday morning till 4:00 in the morning, watching a British pound for pound go across America and get his ass torn out. No, them days are done. If one of the fighters that I'm backing gets beat, fine. But that's because I've made a proper investment. Like, you think about the guys I've invested in previously. Fury, Crawford, Usyk, Thurman. You look at the guys, all have even become unified champions or world champions. You laugh about Stavern. He went on to be a world champion. So, I don't know. He's connected to well-known boxing trainer, family who Eddie and Connor are also close with. There you go. That's what it is. That's all it is. Right, okay, so Sonny and Johnny, nothing personal. Absolutely nothing personal here. And it's not about Matchroom and Frank Warren. It's not about that. It's about what I see at the time. I would add the same energy for Joe Joyce when he was fighting Zilly Zhang. I said it was terrible matchmaking. Whoever made that was terrible matchmaker. It was somebody who obviously wanted to see Joe Joyce get beat or Joe Joyce out of the way and did a good job. And Joyce was silly enough to take that fight, and he'll be silly enough to take the rematch because I think Zilly Zhang will do the same thing to him again. Joyce is not going to improve that much. Oh, he might get more sparring. The other thing about Okolie, I was going to say, how much sparring did Okolie actually do for this fight against CBS, Crispin and Smith? Because he didn't look. He looked in shape, but he just didn't look sharp. Again, that can be down to weight loss, cutting weight late. It could just be the fact that he didn't do much sparring. I don't know. He just did not look sharp. All right. Those are my thoughts. It might not be what everyone wants to hear, but as I normally happens, people feel it afterwards when they go and put money down at the bookies and they see the guy getting wiped out after they've been listening to these promoters. Remember, promoters' jobs are to promote. Promoters' jobs are not to expose the fighter they've got in front of them unless there's a feud going on or they've changed camps. Remember that. Promoters' jobs are to promote. My job is just to say as I see it. Again, I hope Sonny Edwards unifies, becomes undisputed. I hope that Johnny Fisher proves me wrong and he becomes heavyweight champion of the world. I hope he does. But I don't even think he beats Daniel Dubois, to be honest. And Daniel Dubois is a guy I think is going to absolutely get smashed to bits by Usyk. But I know Frank is saying that that Usyk is going to get smashed to bits, but Frank's got to say that. Or else, people have got to believe in a dream. But I don't believe that Daniel Dubois smashes Usyk based on Dubois' last fight against Larea. Yes, Anthony, I hope you're doing well. So, yeah, I'm not... Is it Kevin Larea? Sorry. You get dropped by Kevin Larea off a straight left hand. And Larea came up for middleweight? Come on, man. Or middleweight or light heavyweight. Come on, man. Big dude like you falling over to a guy like that, and you're like, this guy's going to go in and beat Usyk. I'm not watching another Sonny Edwards fight until he fights Ben Rodriguez or Martinez. Well, it is what it is. There you go. It is what it is, as they say. It is what it is. All right, let me get out of here. Thank you all for listening in. Take care.